This tutorial will go over the mechanics of setting up and adding materials to your portfolio page. I'm going to log in and give you a behind-the-scenes tour of my researcher or portfolio page. When I log in, I'm always automatically brought to my workspace. But in my workspace drop-down, I also now have a researcher page option. Now I'm in researcher page mode. Note the 4 tabs. You will always land on personal information, then there's research, pictures, and links. You control whether your page is hidden or public, and you can preview it at any time. Let's go over personal information. This is very easy. You just fill in fields, choose department. If it's not there, create it. Under field, if you need to add a field like hagiology, you can do it. Then your campus address and so forth, and you write whatever you want about your research teaching interests, and you choose keywords to describe yourself. I'm going to skip research for right now and just go to the easy ones of pictures. Very simple. There's a button to upload them. You can have as many as you want. Set the one you want to be the primary, delete, add, have fun. Links is also pretty self-evident. You can add links to, say, someone's blog, an off-site site of interest to you. Add whatever you'd like. They appear on the left side of your page. Now let's talk about research. I'm going to point out the 4 types of things that can be put on your page and how to get them there. You can see here my list of material looks very short. I'm going to go into preview page mode so you can see again what it looks like on the page. On the research part of my page, the folders are all listed as open with everything showing. So the list looks a lot longer. I have here things, there's a little scroll item, a link item, there are things with a package item. Let's go back to edit. And whenever you go back into edit mode, you always get plopped at personal information. That's just a default. We click the research button to get back there. So if I open my folder where I've put all my institutional repository publications, you can see now it's beginning to match up. There are those package icons and link icons. I go back up. You can see I also have a plain top-level link to my book. At the publisher, adding a link is totally easy. Click the Add New Link button, fill in the text you want to be linked, a description if it needs it, and the URL. I'm going to skip the next folder and go to a folder called Personal Publications. This has an item with this little scroll icon. The scroll represents something called a personal publication. It's a file I took through the publication process, but stopped short of actually adding it to any of our public repository collections. Doing that much creates a record so that download stats get counted. But it doesn't actually add it to our repository, which is appropriate because it's my dad's World War II diary. I think people might be interested, and I'd like to know how many people, but I don't need to add it to the repository. But this way, I can make it available through my researcher page. The last folder is, I've labeled it Vita. This is where I want to put my CV. And this is also something a lot of people want on their researcher page, but it doesn't belong in a collection. There are 2 ways to do this. You would upload your Vita to your workspace, and then in your researcher mode, click the Add File button. This will display on the left-hand side the files in your workspace. Think of these two parts. And on the right side is the folder structure for your researcher page or portfolio page mode. On the workspace side, I go down and click CV Files. You can see I keep my Word version here too, so I can get at it wherever I am. But I want to add, the version I add on my researcher page is the PDF version. I simply click it, and it moves over to the researcher page side of the interface. I go back here, I'm in researcher page mode. Whew, and I know that's going by pretty fast. The other way to put your CV on your page and see how many people are downloading it is to turn it into a personal publication and add that. Then you would click the Add Publication button. And again, we're put into this mode where we see the researcher or portfolio page structure on the right. I'm clicking the Vita folder to open it. And on the left now, I see the list of my publications from my workspace. I add my personal publication version of my CV. It appears over on the right. I'm going to click the Back to Folders button to get back into researcher page mode and preview the page to show you what the results of these two kinds of additions are. So there's my CV direct to the PDF, and the second one is the personal publication version, which, as you see, creates a record and tracks downloads. Okay. I'm going to simply hit the back button in the browser to go back to my researcher page, and then go back into edit mode for the researcher page. And I'm going to do a little tidying up. We always get dropped at personal. We always have to click Research tab to go back there. In the Vita folder, it doesn't make sense to have this both ways, so I'm going to take the direct link off. I select it, and I select the Remove button. Move and remove are for when you make a mistake. You can't really mess anything up that you can't fix. All right. Finally, these publications that look like packages, these are the things in the repository. How did I get those on the page? To get something from the repository reflected on your researcher page, just go find it in the repository. You need to be logged in. I'm logged in, of course. I'm going to look up something called Studying Students. It comes up first in the list. You can see there are a whole lot of us who participated. I'm going to click the link for the record, and down at the bottom of the record, when I am logged in, I have all sorts of useful buttons, including Add to my researcher page. I click it, I come up, the system shows me my researcher page structure on the right, and this item I've just chosen on the left. I choose which folder I want to add it to, and I just click Add. There it is. Here in edit mode I see it. I'm going to go to preview mode, and there again under other professional publications. As always, thanks for watching.